welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Erica, and I want to talk a little bit about our experience on Freedom of the Seas Royal Caribbean cruise last week. I'm gonna put a link to my video that I just did regarding our travel experience with COVID tests, with vaccination cards, with flying, and all of that. So I will post that above so that if you want to take a peek at that, you can do that. This, I'm going to talk specifically about our experience on the ship and what my thoughts are for traveling during a pandemic, really, because we're still in the midst of a pandemic. Like I said in my previous video, I never felt unsafe on the cruise. All of the crew is 100% vaccinated, and they do COVID tests on them. I think it's weekly. All of the passengers 12 and older are vaccinated and had a negative antigen test 2 days prior to sailing. Kids 12 and under who were sailing, which I really honestly didn't see a lot of, had to have a negative PCR test 3 days prior, and then they also had to test the day of the cruise at the pier and have a negative test. So, you know, with that, I felt really safe. So when you board the ship, you have to show your vaccination card, you have to show your negative COVID test, and then you can get on the ship. There were probably a third of the passengers on that ship, so I think that ship holds a little over 3,000 passengers. There were probably less than 1,300 passengers on the ship. So yeah, it wasn't, never felt crowded, never had to wait in line for anything, never had to wait for anything, really. It was a great experience. If you have the opportunity and you love to cruise, and you have the opportunity to go now, I would go now, because you'll never not wait in a line ever again, probably, or until we get past this. So if you have the opportunity to cruise now, or you know, in the near future, I would, and you love cruising, then I would definitely consider cruising. So I had mentioned in the other video that Royal Caribbean has what they call Royal Up, which allows you to bid on cabins like above yours. So we always book a balcony, ocean view balcony cabin. So I was able to bid on like a junior suite, the grand suite 1 bedroom, or the grand suite 2 bedroom. So initially I had bid on all of them, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, really, listen, I don't really need a 2 bedroom suite. There's just 2 of us. So I removed that bid, but they give you a range of how much you can bid. So I forget what it was for the grand suite. I didn't win that bid, but I did win the bid for the junior suite. So we ended up in a junior suite. And I'll show the video of, and I'll show the video here of the junior suite. It's almost like as big as a hotel room in all reality. But I bid $125 per person for that cabin. So I won the bid, so I had to pay an additional $250 to get the junior suite. So the junior suite we had a king bed. It had, as you can see, it has the sofa, a chair, you know, it has the TV. It actually has a closet, a walk-in closet, and the bathroom is a little bigger, and it has a tub, shower tub. Whereas in a normal cabin, you're in like a cylinder. You know, like you go like this and your elbows hit the side of the cylinder. So that was really a pleasant surprise. I've seen cabins like this before, but you know, you forget over time, and they all kind of run together after a while. So it was nice to have a tub. Not that I used it, but it was nice. And our balcony was a little bigger too. So we had the 2 chairs with the table, plus those 2 recliners, or you know, whatever they call them. So it was significantly bigger than a regular cabin. a regular balcony cabin and significantly bigger than an inside cabin. So if you have the opportunity to do the Royal Up, it's 30 days out from when you would be sailing. So look for that. And if you can't find the link, contact your travel agent. They should be able to give you the link. So the first night we had dinner at Giovanni's, which is the Italian restaurant on board the ship. It was excellent. And I do believe I have a couple of pictures to show you of my meal. I didn't take pictures of Jim's meal because, like, the minute they set it down, he's already eating. So sometimes I forget even to take pictures of my own. So we had dinner there. Oh, lunch every day almost, I think, for lunch. We had Loco Fresh, which is Mexican food. So they had tacos and burritos and quesadillas and nachos, which were excellent. The pulled pork for the taco was so good. So actually we put a little bit of that, one day we put a little bit of that on the nachos. So excellent. The first day we spent the afternoon, a little bit of the afternoon, once we were able to get back in our cabin, just wandering around, dropped our bag. We were able to get in the cabin, I think, a little bit after 1 o'clock. So we just had our camera bag, so we just dropped that and just kind of walked around, had a drink, had some lunch, and then like I said, for dinner we had Giovanni's, which was excellent Italian. That's a specialty restaurant, so that has an additional charge. I can't remember how much it is, actually. I'll see if I can find it and put a note on the video here. So it was Monday. Tuesday was, we were at sea, so Tuesday we got up in the morning, and what we tend to do is a lot of times we'll order room service to have them deliver coffee, pastries, and fruit. It's like our first breakfast. Although for a couple of the days, it was our only breakfast. So that's what we had. And then we took a walk around the deck. We walked around like 4.5 or 5 times the upper deck. So that was good. We got a little bit of exercise in, which I never do on a cruise, but I really specifically wanted to make sure that I did get in a little bit of exercise. I've lost like 15 pounds, so I didn't want to gain back 5 pounds or, 7 pounds. So we did do that. And then, so Tuesday was, we were at sea. We found a little shady spot in the solarium, which is the adults only section. Had lunch at Loco Fresh again, and just kind of hung around and relaxed and didn't do a whole heck of a lot. For dinner that night, we went to the main dining room, and the food in the main dining room was excellent again. And I'll try to post above what I think I had. I'm not sure if I have a picture of that or not, but it was really, really, really good. The food was excellent all week. And so Wednesday was Nassau in the Bahamas. We decided to stay on the ship when most people got off the ship. There were at one point there were 8 people just sitting around the adult pool, just talking. So that, I love when everybody gets off the ship and you pretty much have the whole ship to yourself. For the most part. So we spent a long time at the pool area, and I, of course, forgot to put sunscreen on my back. And I ended up with a really bad sunburn on my back. I got good color in the front, but I forgot sunscreen on the back. So we did that. We hung around at the pool for a really long time, which was great, and there was nobody around. Took a nap in the afternoon. It's one of the things that I love to do is take a nap. But of course, as life goes on, you just never have a chance to do those kind of things. So that night we had dinner at Chops, which is the steakhouse, which is an additional charge. And I will show you some pictures of what I had to eat. It was the best meal. The filet was so, so, so good. So you don't have to eat at the specialty restaurants. I enjoy doing that. I love steak, so anytime I can have dinner at a steak restaurant, I'm going to do that. But you don't have to do that. You can eat dinner at the main dining room and the food is just as good. And then Thursday was perfect day at Coco Cay. That is Royal Caribbean's private island. And this is our second time there. So the first time we went to Thrill Island, which is the section of the island that has the big water slide, the tallest water slide in North America. It has a wave pool. It's just a fun time for, kids or adult kids. My husband, that's all he wanted to do the last time we were there was go on that water slide. So that was the last time. So this time we went to Cocoa Beach Club. So that's an additional charge. Thrill Water Park is an additional charge as well. And I can't remember for Thrill Water Park how much we paid. It was through a conference that we were on. And I believe that prices fluctuate, so you have to really watch them. I believe that I got the Cocoa Beach Club for like $120 per person. And now I was checking for our October cruise and it's up to like $165 per person. So I'm going to continue to watch that because I really enjoyed that. It's an adults only section of the island. They have over the water cabanas with a slide. Those are so expensive. Those are like $1,600 to rent that. So if you had a group of people that you were going with and you all wanted to chip in for something like that, that's a great option. But for like Jim and I to spend $1,600 on that, I can't do that. I can't justify that at all. I can't even afford that. Someday we will get there, but you have your own private beach area. You don't even have to take your towels from the ship. They provide you with towels, lounge chairs, umbrellas, really comfortable seating throughout, like tables and chairs and rockers and umbrellas. They have an infinity pool, which was so nice, that has some of those recliners that are in the pool area, like the top tier of the pool where there's some water. They have some recliners there. So those were nice. And the pool, the water was just amazing. And then it includes lunch. So you have to make a reservation for lunch. By the time we got there, our reservation for lunch was 11:30, which was fine because by the time we sat down, went to the bathroom, got our drinks, it was fine. I had a couple of earlier that day, so to justify drinking before noontime, because I have this thing where I don't want to drink before noontime, I had a couple of mimosa. So that was my justification for being able to drink before noon. So we go to the restaurant and the menu was amazing. So they had different appetizers, but when the waiter came over, he said, I'm going to bring you over all of the appetizers for you to sample. So that was awesome. So they had hummus, tabbouleh, the eggplant one. I can't think of what it is at this point. No, was it hummus? I'm going to have to look. I'll have to look because it was hummus, the cucumber one, and then tzatziki, and then the eggplant one, which I can't think of what it is at this point. So they had that. They had shrimp cocktail. They had like a ceviche with like a cod, I think it was. It was all so good. It was delicious. So they brought over all of those in this really cool container that they had. So we shared that. And then I was taught the menu was amazing. So I was tossed up between lobster, right? And they also had a fillet. And I thought fillet, like a piece of filet mignon, like a lunch or on like a piece of bread or something, or like a thin piece or something on a piece of bread. That's what I had actually thought it was going to be. So I said to the waiter, I'm like, I don't know, I'm tossed up. I live in New England, right? And we get lobster here that is just delicious, right? And I've, come to the realization when I travel sometimes that seafood in other parts of the country are sometimes not as good as what we can get here in New England. He's like, yeah, he goes, I promise you it's going to be really good. He goes, but why don't you get surf and turf? And I'm like, really? I'm like, and I knew I couldn't eat like surf and turf. I knew I couldn't eat filet. So I said to Jim, you want to split the turf? And the waiter's like, no, just get your own. He can have it cooked his way because I like mine medium. Jim liked his medium more well than medium, and I like mine more rare than medium. So, he's like, just get your own. So I'm like, all right, fine. So I'll show you a picture of our surf and turf, which was excellent. Came with roasted vegetables and potatoes. It was one of the best meals I have ever had on a cruise ship. And that was perfect day at Coco Cay. That was the beach club, and we paid extra for that. But that whole day was well worth the amount of money that I paid for that. And then dessert. So, of course, we had to have dessert. And I had a chocolate caramel brownie, and Jim had, I think, rum cake. It was so good. That day was a perfect day at Coco Cay, and the weather was amazing. The weather was amazing the whole week that we were away. So then we came back to the ship, showered, and then for dinner that night, the casino was open while we were in port in Coco Cay. So we did a little bit of gambling. We didn't win anything. We never win anything gambling, ever. So we didn't win anything. But for dinner that night, we were tossing between, we didn't have reservations anywhere. So we were going to go to the main dining room and eat there again, which is fine. But I really wasn't like super hungry after having the surf and turf for lunch. So we decided to go to Playmakers. So they have a Playmakers on the ship, which is really interesting, an interesting concept. There are a ton of TVs with every single different sport on that you could possibly imagine. They have pool tables. They have like that basketball hoop thing. They just have a lot of different games. They have tables. They have booths. And they serve pub-style food. Not realizing it was an upcharge, but at this point it really didn't matter. We decided to eat there. So we got nachos. It seemed to be the theme of the week. We had nachos at lunch every day, except for Thursday. So we had nachos for dinner with the pulled pork that we had at Loco Fresh. So those were excellent. And then I had a crispy chicken sandwich that came with fries, and Jim had a burger. So it was perfect. It wasn't, we didn't walk out of there like super full. Like a lot of times eating in the main dining room, you get 3-course meals, you get your appetizer and your main course and your dessert. It's just a lot of food sometimes. And then, if you have a drink, and it's just feel very bloated sometimes. But Thursday was a good day. We did not do that. I felt like we did not overeat. Earlier in the afternoon, we packed up our bags. Yeah, we had a great, great, great trip. And like I said in the beginning of the video, if you are someone who loves to cruise and you're contemplating, should I go, shouldn't I go? The one thing I want you to really take my advice, it is that I always felt safe on the ship. I never felt unsafe or COVID. Everybody was aware that COVID is still here, but with everybody being vaccinated and everybody having negative PCR tests or negative COVID tests, and everybody wearing a mask inside, you always have to wear a mask inside wherever you are, unless you're actively eating or drinking. You don't have to wear one outside by the pool or anything like that. But if you're inside, you have to. So like if we had gone down a couple times to get a coffee at the Cafe Promenade, and we had our mask on, and then we would sit down. We were able to take our mask off so that we could drink our coffee. So other than that, there was nothing was like a burden. Like, oh, I have to put a mask on. None of that. There was nothing like that. I felt like none of that. So we had a great, great trip. So that was our experience on Freedom of the Seas. Next month we have an experience on Oasis of the Seas out of Bayonne, New Jersey. We get to drive to the port, to the cruise port, which we have never been able to do, or we have never done yet. So I'm really looking forward to being able to do that. And I will keep you up to date on our experience with that. For me, that's a seminar at sea, so where I will learn so much more about Royal Caribbean and how my business can connect with their business, and how I can promote their business even more. I love Royal Caribbean. I think they're a great option for cruising. If you have a family, or if you just like, they're a great family brand. They cater to families. But Jim and I don't have small kids, but we enjoy that cruise line very much. So if you have any questions, make sure you comment below, and I am happy to answer any questions that you may have. And I hope that you have an amazing day, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.